your build is. I can't remember. So. All right, good to know. Hey guys, welcome to Crawl on Chain for some more Path of Titans. Today is a War Room episode. Now this is where we take a specific matchup between two dinosaurs and then we watch 1v1 fights between those two dinosaurs and dissect those fights so that we can learn as much as we can from them. Today's War Room episode will be dissecting fights between the Pycno and the Dasp. And today's episode will be slightly different from the previous ones because previous episodes only contained organic PvP encounters between myself and other players that I encountered while playing, while today's episode will contain both organic PvP as well as organized 1v1 fights featuring some of my POT friends and viewers. Now if that sounds good for everybody, let's go. Now this first fight was featured in my Juvie to Adult Pycno episode. It was my very first time fighting a Dasp as a Pycno and my first time fighting a Dasp after the update that unlinked the cooldowns from its different attacks. I fought this Dasp twice in a row, so I'm gonna let those two fights play out and then we'll talk about the very serious mistakes I made. I'm still immune right now, so I don't care. You gonna try or not? What's that supposed to mean? I don't trust you. Of course. I'm back. Oh, he's right there. Pretty sure I just saw him. Pretty sure that's him right there. Alright, I'm not gonna lie, I am pretty embarrassed by those two fights. The amount of mistakes I made. And the actual mistakes I made, I mean, no, it shouldn't have happened. So obviously, the very first mistake I made on the first fight against this Dasp was to let him approach me this much. Like, I gave him every opportunity to bone break me. So that is definitely on me. I'm right here, like I'm letting him stay close to me because right now I do have the HC buff, which makes me invulnerable, but right here the buff is about to wear off, and then of course he's gonna take advantage of that. Of course he's gonna take advantage of that. The other thing I wanted to point out here is that the last time I had even interacted with a Dasp was when I was playing a Dasp myself. And what I remembered was that after a bone break, you have 4 seconds to go before you can attack. But they had released an update just before I recorded this video, and they completely unlinked all of the cooldowns from between all of the attacks that the Dasp has. So the Dasp can literally go bone break, and right after it can go heavy bite, which is exactly what he did, and that threw me off completely. I did not expect that. The next heavy bite is coming, and then yeah, right there, I kind of tried to push him off. Now let's back it up a little bit and slow it down. Let's see, like. So yeah, mine takes a while. The horn swipe, it takes a while before it goes off, and I think they kind of went off at the exact same time. But anyway, I was kind of under the impression that I should not have received the damage there, but it's close enough to where I'm like, yeah, maybe. But yeah, no, let's keep it going. So yeah, refresh the bone break, and then boom, again. And then the last heavy bite finishes me off. I think it took 3 or 4 heavy bites to finish me. This Dasp, his build is obviously the bone break and then the heavy bite, and I think that's a very dangerous build. You know, it maybe not back when cooldowns were linked, but now that they've unlinked the cooldowns, I feel like the Dasp is in a very, very good place, and pretty much every build possible is deadly. All right, so let's go to the second fight. Let's talk about that one a little bit. All right, so here I'm right there in the back. I'm about to come and charge at him, but the first thing I want to point out is my first mistake here, not from a Pycno versus Dasp standpoint, but purely from a PvP standpoint. My first mistake was to use my call ability, which boosts the range of my knockback a little bit. I used that, like, I had the perfect opportunity to charge at him from the back, and I messed it up by using my call ability right there from the start. This is my mistake right there. Why would I use that? So I'm right back in the very same position that I was in the first fight. So yeah, biggest mistake was to announce that I was coming and then charge him head first. Let's just let it play out. I'm trying to like zigzag and turn around, and I'm trying to get him to miss my face a little bit. I've seen that work in previous fights. When you swing your head left and right, sometimes they miss. Now, obviously, the Spino did not need to help here. I was dead no matter what. I don't know why the Spino thought he was needed. He was completely irrelevant here. The Dasp was very much able to kill me. But yeah, I did learn from that, though. I did. So let's move on to the next fight. I saw it on this hill. Oh, it's right there. It's a Dasp. Oh my god. Okay, I might be about to die right here. There's a very good chance I'm gonna die right here. This next fight happened a few days after I was done recording my Juvie to Adult. When I found this Dasp, I immediately thought, this is my chance to try and apply what I learned from the past 2 fights. I was both very excited to get a chance to try again, and also very nervous, knowing that the slightest mistake can cost me the fight. He looks like he's running away from me. Do you have the bone break? Yes, he does. Oh, crap. It's this stupid conch that got me killed right there. All right, we're about to start here. The first thing I want to say is when I said it's the stupid conch, I didn't mean that the conch player was stupid. That's not what I meant. It's just, it's a saying here, like stupid thing, stupid this, stupid that. So I said it's the stupid conch in the same kind of way. I don't know if you guys understand what I mean, but I did not mean that the player is stupid. Obviously, the player was trying to help the Dasp, and he did, and the conch is the reason why I died. Just before we start, I'm gonna say, like, there's only one risky move I did, and that was to start the fight with a charge, as I did with the last one, which actually cost me the fight. I did that here as well, but I knew that this Dasp did not want to fight me. I didn't know what his build was at the time. All I knew is he was trying to get away from me. He was just like, he kept walking. He tried to friendly crouch and stuff. So yeah, I decided to charge and see what would happen. By charging like that, knowing he doesn't want to fight me, he's not sure what's gonna happen. He was still hoping I wouldn't go for him at the time, and so it didn't really give him a lot of time to react. So he tried for a bite, he missed. Anyway, I'm gonna let the fight play out here. I just wanted to say I'm actually quite happy with how I fought this one, aside from that risky move I did in the beginning, which actually paid off. I think I was fighting beautifully. I think I would have had him if not for that conch. So anyway, let's let it play out. So yeah, bad timing on that bite. Now, I'm still testing him because I don't know if he has a bone break. This is where I find out that he has a bone break. So I'm just kiting it, trying to tail slap it, bait the bone break, then turn around and bite. Or charge. Whatever works. Boom. Now, right there, that exact moment right there is where the conch blocks me from escaping, prevents me from escaping, and gets me bone broke. So yeah, let's try and get that moment where the conch blocks me. Boom. Right here, this is where it happens. Boom, blocks me. And then boom, bone break. If not for that conch blocking me right there, I would have been too far for him. He would have tried bone breaking me on the tail. He would have bit my tail. If it had been pure 1v1, I think I was winning that fight. Now, the amount of damage a Pycno does versus the amount of damage a Dasp does is like, the difference is comparing a nail gun to a bazooka, basically. I'm the nail gun, he's the bazooka. The amount of damage difference is just insane. Okay, right there. So this is how much HP I have. This is how much HP he has. So obviously you can tell I have the advantage right now. But still, like, I turn around and try to face tank it. He's dealing way more damage than I am per bite. I'm chipping away so slowly at it. And then, you know, you can't ignore the fact that this conch is also taking bites off of me, and then the little ramp is trying to help them as well. So it's basically a 3v1. Even though the ramp is not doing much, it's still debuffing me and stuff. So it's 3v1. Okay, let's call it what it is. Still, I think at this point, after I was bone broke, I still think the Dasp would have won the face tank battle. But look at how low it is. What this tells me right now is that without the bone break, without the successful bone break, I was winning this fight. 100%, no doubt. If that conch was not there, the bone break would never have happened, and I was winning that fight. So I lost because this turned into a 3v1. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm sure most of you agree. I'm sure most of you, all of my good supporters, I'm sure they all agree. All right. The fights we're about to watch here were all recorded during a live stream I did last weekend. I asked my viewers to join me on their Dasp or Pycno, and then we organized some 1v1s. We ended up recording way too many fights for me to show them all in this video, so I'm going to select a few of them and do my very best to point out every bit of valuable information we can get from them. Let's get to it. So we're going to start with this fight here between Obsidian and Barlow, who's also known as Shades of Grey. So Obsidian, that was his second fight here. He had actually won his first fight against KC, and so Obsidian is definitely an experienced PvPer. He definitely knows what he's doing. And then we have Barlow here, who's I'm gonna say is an amazing PvPer. Actually, you're gonna see. I'm gonna turn that into a short. But Barlow here saved my butt later on in the stream that day. She saved my butt from a sty and another Dasp. She killed both of them by herself. So yeah, she's a boss. She is a boss. Okay, so I'm just gonna let the fight play out. Keep in mind, Obsidian is definitely a good player, but you just keep that in mind. I think he goofed up a little bit here, though. I think that was a goof, going to bite her butt like that. She got a real good heavy bite on him right there. Not gonna lie, Obsidian definitely did better against KC. Yeah, and the fight is over. We had a rule where if you crouch, you give up. Now look at how dominating the Dasp was in this fight. Now, okay, the player's skill has something to do with it for sure, but the Dasp definitely has an advantage over the Pycno from the start as well. So that's gonna wrap it up for the first fight. I'm not gonna lie, Obsidian has done better in other fights. This was not his best performance right there, but nonetheless, I chose to show this fight. So let's just move on to the next one now. All right, second fight is going to be myself versus Joker right here. Joker on the Dasp, myself on the Pycno. Let's go. We're probably waiting for the countdown right here. Now, my strategy was to try and dodge his attacks while tail slapping him. I think his build right now is the regular bite and the heavy bite. He does not have bone break. So I'm just trying to dance around him, tail slap him, avoid his bites as I ride by or run by. See, this time I think he caught me though. It's really difficult to not get hit at all. Sometimes I manage to do it. Sometimes I manage to slap him without getting hit at all. But a lot of times he still manages to bite my tail, and I take almost full damage from those bites on the tail now. Yeah, right there I got bit pretty bad. There were a few really good run bys that I did. That fail. At least I didn't waste too much time. As soon as I noticed I failed, I stopped it right away. So minimize the amount of stamina I used there. But yeah, no, just one more bite and it was over. So all in all, I'm quite proud of this fight. Yeah, I lost. Obviously, I lost. But you know, I managed to bring him pretty low. So yeah, I'm not disappointed in my performance. But yeah, GG Joker, definitely you win. GG Joker. All right, let's move on to the next one. All right, for this fight we have Jenna Jen versus Obsidium. This was Jenna's first fight of the day. It is Obsidium's third fight of the day, and you'll see a little bit of a change in the way Obsidium fights in this one. I feel like he might have picked up on the way that I was fighting against Joker, and then I think he was trying a little bit more to tail slap the way that I did. Anyway, let's let it play. That was a good bite on Jenna's part. As you can see, he's trying to kite Jenna and tail slap her. And he's being partially successful. The same way that I was against Joker earlier. Also notice how if we attack from the left as a Pycno using the tail starts to the right and then swings to the left. So there's a bit more of a delay. You have to time this attack a little bit better. But if you attack from the right, and because the tail swings towards the right first, it's more immediate. You get the damage more quickly. But you saw it right there. But sometimes because of the timing, it makes it easier for a regular bite Dasp to bite your tail, because it will see it coming. So I'm gonna say against the heavy bite, it's better to attack from the right. Against the regular bite, it's better to attack from the left. But Jenna was using both bites, so you can't predict what bite is gonna come. You don't know which one she's gonna use. So it's very random. It's 50-50 for both of them. Sometimes he's attacking from the right, sometimes from the left. And then sometimes she's using a regular bite, sometimes a heavy one. It's very difficult to predict. But this is turning out to be a pretty long fight, which means it's a good fight. It's a tight match. Oh, that was a good one right there. She couldn't bite the tail. Nice. Oh, but you see, because it was delayed, because it was a heavy bite, when the tail went back to its original position, the bite landed. So this is a win for Jenna. Good job, Jenna. GG's to both of you. Anyway, we'll show one last fight and then we'll wrap this up. All right, for this fight we have Jenna again against Obsidium again. Yes, this is their second fight against each other. Last fight, Jenna was the winner. By the way, Jenna had also won a fight against me at this point. I had fought Joker and Jenna, and I had lost both fights, just so you know. So I'm showing this one because even though I already showed them fighting each other, this time Obsidian went for a completely different strategy, and I want to show that. So here we go. And it's going to stop raining soon. Did you see that? I need to pause that for a sec here. Did you see what he did? He charged, brushed her side, kept going, and tail slapped her right away. That was like a boom boom. Super quick. I didn't even know we could do that as a Pycno. So I'm learning something here from Obsidian. Thank you for that, Obsidian, by the way. That was really cool. And he does it a few times during that fight. It's 2 strikes really quickly. And then as you can see here, he's not trying to tail slap like he did before. He's just trying to gain some distance, which he can do as a Pycno. And he's also waiting for the cooldown. Boom, boom, again, same thing. That was really cool. At this point, if I was Jenna, I would probably think he's just getting lucky, because she won every fight that she's had so far. I think it was 2 fights, and she won both. So she's probably thinking he's just getting lucky, and so she's just pressing on. She's just trying to close the distance between the two. But you can tell his strategy is gain distance, wait for the charge cooldown to go away, and then charge again. Boom, boom, again, same thing. Brushes on her side and then tail slaps. So yeah, he's ahead right now. Boom. Oh, now she got a bite. As you can see, he's just trying to gain distance again. I don't know why it's rubber banding like this right now. Oh, she got him there. Eventually, she has to stop following him because she's going to run out of stam. The rubber banding is quite annoying, I have to admit. She accidentally bit the aloe, but he was standing way too close from the fight. So I don't know if she ran out of stam or if she just decided, you know, it's pointless to keep following, but she's just walking now. And I think he doesn't have enough stam for another charge, so he's just trying to regain his stam right now. He already did, like, I don't know, 3 or 4 charges. I think 4. Which is about as much as you can do without recharging your stam. But he's trying to keep the exchanges between the two to a minimum. He's trying not to exchange with her too much. Right now, he really just wants stam, and you'll see he's going to go sit in a moment. And we had no rules against it, so like we hadn't said anything about that, so I just let it go. You can tell he just wants to use his charge. He doesn't want, like, he tried the tail slap thing, it didn't work for him, so now he's trying something else, which is a sign of a good PvPer. When something doesn't work, you try something else. This time he missed it. He brushed her side, but he missed the tail slap. Yeah, the rubber banding is really annoying. So this is causing this fight to drag, and just like there's long parts without anything happening. It makes it a little bit boring to watch, but it's still a viable strategy. That's why I wanted to showcase it. I wanted to show this because I think Obsidian is he's onto something here. It definitely threw Jenna off her game. And at this point, let's be realistic here. Jenna should have quit. She should have stopped. She died because they both refused to stop. Now, she should have stopped. I think she was so sure that he was so close to dead that she was just like, this one more hit, and I get him. But they both decided not to stop, and eventually, you know, she got hit by that tail just one time too many. At the time, we all thought it was an accidental death, but I think she just pushed a little bit too far. Hey, Jenna, don't you agree? All that to say, I think Obsidian, you're onto something here. So you brush to the left side of the dinosaur and then tail slap to the right. And then that's like a 2-hit combo that seems to be very effective. That's the first time I see it happening here. I didn't even realize that when I was there watching the fight from my character. I just noticed that while rewatching it in the replay tool right now. So now, Obsidian, we know your secret. Just so you know, the whole world knows your secret. All right, enough rambling. So now we're gonna go to the outro, and I'm gonna share some more thoughts and opinions on this matchup, and that will be the end of the video. All right, first thing I want to say here is I'm so sorry, guys, to all of you who participated and didn't get their fights featured in the video. There were just too many fights and the video would have been too long. The biggest factor that determined which fights I ended up choosing was the different strategies that were used. However, I may end up making another video where I will show all the fights. That being said, here is my analysis of the Pycno vs Dasp matchup. Currently, the Dasp is superior to the Pycno in the damage and tankiness. The only thing the Pycno is better at is speed and stamina. In a 1v1, this gives the Dasp a pretty decent advantage, so if you're the Pycno fighting a Dasp, your focus should be on keeping your distance as much as you can. Try to drain its stamina if possible, because this will make the run-by tail attacks easier to do. Never charge at it in a direct face-to-face. Try to brush its side, as Obsidian was doing in the last fight, and if you can, try to get a tail attack in there for a 2-hit combo. The other thing is, pay attention to what build the Dasp is using. If he's using a bone break, it should be fairly easy to bait it with some run-by tail attacks, and then depending on which bite the Dasp decides to go for, this should determine which side you attack it from. If they're using a regular bite, you're better off attacking to your left, because if they bite as soon as you get within range, your tail will dodge its bite by swinging to the right and then come back to hit them after the bite already came down. If they're using a heavy bite, it's better for you to attack to your right, because your tail will have a chance to hit them first before the heavy bite comes down, and then the tail will swing left and dodge the bite as it comes down. Now, this all sounds good in theory, but in practice, it will still be difficult to get it right every single time. If you're fighting an experienced Dasp player, they might pick up on your strategy and counter it. Player skill will always be the major factor in every fight, but hopefully this analysis, if we can call it that, will help some of you improve your chances if you end up fighting a Dasp as a Pycno. Now, lastly, I'm going to say that I hope they end up giving the Pycno a little bit more love. I feel like right now it's not really up to par with the other dinosaurs of the same weight class. The Pycno's attacks are all very weak. Even the charge attack feels pretty underwhelming, even at long range. Now, the charge would be fine if not for the fact that the Pycno can't afford to get hit too much. And most of the time, if you charge from a long range, your opponent will see you coming and will have time to react. So they will trade damage with you, and a trade almost always ends up in the favor of the other dinosaur because of how fragile the Pycno is. Once again, its speed and stamina are the only things making it viable at the moment, which means that if you're looking for a dino that is amazing at traveling, then the Pycno is definitely a very good choice. Or if you're looking for a dino that is amazing at running away, once again, very good choice. If you're looking for a brawler, however, I strongly recommend the Dasp. So that's going to do it for this War Room episode. Hopefully you guys will find some valuable information in there. Share your thoughts in the comments. Let me know if you guys agree with this analysis or not. All feedback is welcome, but please keep it respectful. You guys take care, and I will see you all soon. Bye-bye.